Hey everybody. Phoenix. You beat me here, huh? How's everybody doing? Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Y'all can hear me clearly? I'm waiting to hear if y'all can hear me clearly. All right. Thank you, Pamela Hall. Y'all, I love y'all and miss y'all talking straight up to y'all. I miss my channel. I miss my groups. Y'all gonna have me more often. I promise Phoenix and Mr. Waldo I'm gonna make it happen. Just like I did last year. All right. Much love to y'all too. Y'all see we still on that topic of what I put up last night, right? That's unfinished business. Put that on there. Unfinished business. Come on. See, Indian jazz, that came out the deep freezer. But the topic been on the front burner for a long time. But we pulled that one out the deep freezer. Okay? I'm letting them come on in the room. We at 18 in the room. Y'all know, Chief, we're going to talk around a little bit till we hit our 50. 50 means start the show. All right, so if you know somebody that don't know Chief on, drop them a little message. Say, Chief on, we trying to hit that 50 so she can start talking. Y'all with me? Come on in. We got to talk about these issues, guys. We got people that don't want people to use the word black. Um, the young sometimes don't understand, and I said sometime, and some young don't understand, and some old really don't understand. And when we use the word black or indigenous, we need to talk about these things. We need to stop fussing and fighting over it too. Our numbers will be greater to accomplish more if we sit down and talk, communicate, stop attacking so quick. We have a habit of beating our own leaders down. That's historically. I heard somebody got mad because for my first time I came out there with some of you all, and I was on um, Twitter or X, whatever it is, for my first time, and someone misunderstood what I said, but I didn't missay what I meant. Did y'all get that? I said what I said and I meant what I said. We've been battling people look like us for too long. And there's no need nobody getting mad because I said that over there, because that's facts. But do we know why we keep fighting each other? And while we fighting each other, the other people just getting away. Somebody say it goes over their head. Well, sometime we might sit in, let me find a good way to put this. Sometimes we might sit in the company of something that we don't really have knowledge and understanding of. That means you're not in the right group with your conversation. See, you got to be a big girl and a big boy to come over here and play with us. We don't have to say everything straight out. We so intellectual we can say it, and you folks already done figured it out. We're not on here trying to make a meal ticket. I know I'm not. If any of y'all making a good living off the internet, y'all let me know. Some may be, but it ain't enough to take care of you. It ain't enough to make enemies. They're trying to pull history out the schools across the states of the United States. They're trying to shut down the access to the stuff that you have access to that you're fighting over on the internet, instead of saying, hey, it's time we gather as much information, pull it together, and get some better understanding. We the 36 people. Hope everybody hit the like button, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to talk about these no topics. I don't care if it takes us the rest of 2024. Let's deal with these no topics. Let's start where we can ask each other, why are we fighting each other over the word black? I see people sometimes come when I say black and they say, black is not a race. I never said it was a race. And that means somebody's not listening at my other shows. I said black is a classification that was used in a Pacific time to address a Pacific set of people. I'm not colored either, but at one time, that was also a category that you would have fell under. You were not, and none of y'all can show me a paper with indigenous for your grandmothers and grandfathers with the word indigenous. Most of y'all cannot show me a paper with something saying Indian, but that does not mean that they were not an Indian. So you know the reclassification came about. And I'm not going to go back and forth on what's the proper word to please everybody, because I know at 54 years old, you can't please everybody. If you noticed last night on the tape, it said I said 54, I meant 64. Sorry about that. I want to be 54. Most probably I feel better that way. But I said I was 62. I pulled that out the freezer for you. 2 years ago, we talked about these things. 2 years later, I can go back as if it's happening right now. Nothing's changed. The topics we didn't hit on, if we would really address these things and organize, we can make some changes. And we have to watch the people that's telling you don't vote, don't get involved, don't do this, but they don't give you something to do. Are y'all asleep out there on me? We had 51 people, so we ready to roll. Y'all know it. Let me see if y'all going to sleep on Chi. Are y'all with me on what I'm saying? Y'all, things are going on in this country. We need to be at tables talking in large numbers. The group is coming together, setting their agenda. We are fighting. Why? Together we stand, divided we fall, right? Let me see some together we stand, divided we fall go up there. So when they come to get some leftovers, it'll be there for them. And I thank all of you who leave messages like, Chief, you're not by yourself. Chief, we love you. I like that. But we got to show that. Not the love to Chief only, but the love to ourselves and our community and our children and the grandkids and the next generation to come. That's right, Harris. We stronger together. That's why they have Pacific people come out to break down what you all been doing. We not stealing off nobody else's plate or out of nobody else's pot. We've been over here. I know I have since we started in 2022, the end of 2022. We've been serving our own dish that we cook. We not out there cutting nobody else's food out their garden. We're working for what we're doing. I would like to say we need to tell Phoenix thanks and everyone who was a part of that team for having the vision for that petition that's fixing to cross over to that 10,000. 600 and some people off. That should be done in no time. Y'all the same group that made Chief numbers go up. So I know y'all can go knock that 600 and something off on that petition. If you're on here and you haven't signed the petition, please go sign the petition. Somebody drop the link to the petition in the thing. We got so much work to do, we don't have time to bicker with them other people. I'm not mad with somebody if they say they from Africa, because there's a place called Africa and they got people that come and go from there. I'm not mad because somebody Asian or none of the other ethnicity. But why people mad? Because we have brown skin, black skin, whatever skin they want to call it. Why they gotta come over here dipping in our pot and aggravating us? We just trying to live like they trying to live. This has been the problem with black Indians. This is the problem that your grandmother and your grandfathers had. They had to deal with other people. It wasn't the internet. They had the gossip net. Somebody telling everybody your business so they can get your land, get your house, run you out of town, and take your job too. This is not new. Then people say, wonder why my grandmother and them didn't tell us nothing. Could you imagine what they were going through back then? With no civil rights? We got civil rights and we ain't using it. We done let every group come here from other countries and in this country use what people of color fought for. And we too much bickering to make our numbers count. When somebody sees somebody getting numbers, they set out a campaign to break them down. Y'all with me? Let me see some fire if you agree. Please. Because I want to know if it's registering what I'm saying. Phoenix, why don't you do me a favor? I'm going to send you a link. Come on stage. Hold 1 second. I don't want to leave you back that silent on this. Hold 1 sec, y'all. Okay, Phoenix, I'm going to just put it in the chat. Hold on, just put it in the chat. I ain't going in there. Get a minute, y'all. There you go. J. Moore, Ishmael, if you out there, you're welcome to join us on the stage. Because the stuff I'm talking about, we are constantly talking about it. Phoenix and I was talking, Mr. Waldo. I was on that little break. But the break wasn't not working. I was still working. Got a lot of good stuff been going on. Phoenix, I dropped the link in. I think. Yes, it did. It's up there. But I was hearing stuff. I've come to love you all as my family that I don't know your face. But we have spent a year in something together. And I'm hearing people getting attacked by things they say. People trying to, how can I use this word? Put pressure for people not to let other people on their platform. You guys can build a platform. Want me to tell you why? You helped build this platform. Give yourself a hand and some fire. Not me. Give yourself that. You all said we were going to hit that 10,000. We at 10,000 plus now. We even got new subscribers from last night. Why? Because you all working hard. Actually, we're at 10,242. You all did that because you wanted a place where you could enjoy discussing stuff without fighting all the time. You wanted information. You didn't want an internet chief. You just wanted a chief that was out there doing stuff to come share what I was doing with you. And I've been doing that. I've been letting you hear my people. Actually, the video I did last night, that video was something I did to archive. Me add Phoenix. That was something I did to archive for the next generation to know they wasn't the only one out there having it hard, trying to fit somewhere in a world that was organized against you. Phoenix, are you there? I see her.
Yeah, actually,
There she is. How you doing, my sister?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I couldn't leave you off the stage because you and Mr. Waldo and I talk when I don't even be on air. And what I'm saying is, I try to keep up with what's going on. Um, but I'm hurt to hear, J. Moore, I see you on there, Jeremy on stage. Um, we need to talk about these things. We need to talk. Organizing means what I told Mr. Waldo and things. Sometime when you're fighting a serious battle like y'all are doing, and the way y'all have done that petition, you're gonna create enemies. And the enemies are trying to make you all enemies. I want y'all to stand tall together now. We don't have time because people coming at you. You don't even have the time to play the game with them. Tell them go play with a toy. Stay focused where y'all are at. You worked hard on that petition. That's y'all baby. Don't let nobody lure you into a room of debate over stupid stuff because they want to break down your integrity. They want to break down your respect. So you can't represent what you already have fought for. Are you with where I'm at, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to back
Yes,
up and
ma'am.
I want you to welcome our people and greet them. And I just asked Jay Moore to join the stage because we're going to do some talking. Because if we don't set a platform and we all respect each other and don't let no one come in and break it like y'all did with me. Somebody come in here, y'all little ratchets done got it and it's gone and nobody get to read it forever. You do not have to entertain it. Y'all know that. Phoenix, greet our audience and then we can go in on where I'm talking at.
Hey, everybody. Hope everything is healthy. It's a beautiful day in Indian country. Here with Chief Warhorse. It's always a treat. I know y'all happy she was going live last night. She had to pull that out the freezer, but it's the same topic because the same thing is happening. It's so interesting how Chief, how you can go in the archives and pull out something that's appropriate to things that are currently happening. I love how you have that much content. You can just go pull something out of the archives based off of what it is that, you know, happen to be going on in the internet. And the thing about it is, it's just really hard out here for the Indian to be. It is true that we have no friends. It's true that we have no friends. People, um, and I also want to say on the flip side that I've seen people feel as though they have to use their Indian to belittle somebody else's whatever. And I think that is just as gross as the other mistreatment and injustices and prejudices that we face, you know, against us. So people got to
That's
tighten up
why,
on their behavior with provoking people and not respecting their space, right? They have the right to self-identify, and they are. It's okay for them if you inform them and educate them on your stance. It doesn't mean that it's true for them. What's true for you does not mean that it's true for them. And that's something that they may want to look at, and maybe they don't want to have any parts of it. You're not supposed to infringe on anybody else's right to be who they say they are, right? It's not
that's
like
right.
this person is direct lineal descent of you and you have some proof. These are strangers on the internet, and you don't have to always engage in that particular capacity. Sometimes if you switch it on them and let them tell you about themselves, trolls don't get to be themselves. Trolls are not real people. They're just trolls. Let them
That's right.
show themselves. You don't have to become all undone and stuff like that because they're very limited on what they can share about themselves because they're trolls. They're not real, right? We're
That's
real
right.
people. We have real things outside of the internet, outside of social media.
You have a life, in other words.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, And we gotta understand we putting stress on people when we harassing them on this internet. And there are laws against that. But a lot of people are not using it yet. Stop harassing people. And I'm not talking to you all who is my audience, because I know y'all ain't out there harassing nobody. Because y'all be cutting them off if they come in here. But I'm talking to those who are gonna come eat later. What do they gain for tearing down Phoenix? What do they gain for attacking Mr. Waldo? What do they gain for attacking Davita, Wild Indian? See what I'm saying? And that's what you need to ask a person. What do you gain from destroying me? How much further do that put you to your Indian heritage? How much further do that make you be more respected as an Indian than me who you are attacking? See, people playing with other people's mind, and your mind is a sacred place. You should never let nobody play in there. That's your sacred grounds. And if you're busy about something worthwhile, you don't have time for foolishness. Now, let's take these topics I got there, Phoenix. We talk about young. I didn't just throw those topics out there for you all. Those are the three things, Phoenix, you and Mr. Waldo keep telling me. Well, the young people, the black people, the indigenous people fights. That's three different fights, right, Phoenix?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's start with the young people. See, last night was just me telling y'all Chief ready to talk. Now we're gonna do some talking this week and next week until we get this junk straight. Because we are our brother's keeper. Can y'all put that on there? Put brother and sister. We each other keeper. We want them to know when you come at us, you better come right with facts. Because we're not gonna stop for foolishness. Okay? I come too far to let anybody hinder me now. I'm not on this internet to get known. I'm known pretty good. Maybe a little bit too much. I went to the store today. Three places I stopped, three places white folks knew who I was. So I'm not out hiding from no one. And when I say something on here, I still walk through this town. I don't have another name. I'm functioning by the name that I have. Okay, we are inviting J Moore to the stage. Hi, welcome, J Moore. I'm gonna shut up for a minute and let you say hi to our people.
Peace, peace, Chief Warhorse, peace, Phoenix. Just glad to be here. Um, yeah, pick up. I had to jump out, close my app, so just continue.
Okay, y'all, we have J Moore here. And if Ishmael happened to come along, tell him I'm looking for him to come on. Why I'm doing it because, and if Mr. Waldo come along, these are the main people I've invited on my stage all last year. Out of 100% respect to them, and they have been nothing but 100% respect to me. But they have been working on some hard things, and they've been sacrificing their time for many issues to educate people fairly with facts. If people coming on here talking about stuff that we already have recorded, you're wasting somebody's time arguing over something that if you can go back into Jamar, Ishmael, or Phoenix files or minds and read, look at some of the stuff. Just listen and see what part you play because they're using us against us. I was told by a gentleman who have a show that Mr. Waldo went on, and if you listening, you know I'm talking about you. He said he brought on white, Asian-looking Indians. They don't like us, is what he said. He figured out. I don't know why he had to figure it out, but he did. If he talked to the Freemans in Oklahoma, any of the people, they don't like us who are not on the reservation because from my understanding, they say, well, what we're doing is hurting them to be recognized. How am I hurting you if you are African Indian or a Freeman and I'm not no Freeman and I'm not no African Indian? Now you picking in my business and I'm not dipping in yours. But I do try to assist and turn light on in your area so people know you have an issue like all the rest of us. Phoenix and them are not fighting as a tribe. And if I'm wrong, Jamar, you let me know. They're fighting as individual Indians who've been denied their right to their heritage. Am I saying that correctly enough for you all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Waldo is fighting as a deprived Indian whose family member traveled the Trail of Tears and is in Oklahoma on the reservation. I'm fighting as an urban Indian with a tribe, functions with a government, and the three of us have the same issue. I find art with that. Something wrong there, right? But we got some people who done create internet tribes and all this junk and they're attacking. Y'all pay them no attention. People who got papers and facts have a hard time in America proving anything. That's just somebody distracting your energy where you should be checking them graveyards and going to the clerk of court and pulling records and get your concrete evidence. Did y'all hear what I said on that thing last night? I meant that. If you got roots, you can find it. But if you concrete, asphalt, bricks, or mortar, you can get washed away. Roots go deep. They go deep. And you should be looking for your deep roots, not that what's on the surface. The water can wash it away. What I'm saying, while we bickering, they eliminating information. J Mar, that's why I asked you to come on, and I wanted Ishmael to come on too. Phoenix, I wanted you on. How many things that was accessible to you all 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that now you see and it's not there? Please talk to me. Y'all a little bit younger than me.
Oh, a lot of things are no longer available on the internet.
Yeah, right. Records you
Yes,
could
ma'am.
get.
Yes, ma'am. It has been scrubbed. Definitely since 2018, like extremely noticeable 2018 with the acquisition of Ancestry to Blackstone. Back when everybody that did the DNA test with Ancestry, all of their ancestral percentages had changed in light of whatever changes were made to the database at the time. Yes, and at that point, if you didn't have what you had at the time, then it's not available anymore. It's shuffled around. I'll tell you what, now they have been able to manipulate the records and have them submitted on Ancestry. Not so much Family Search is what I did notice with the Mormons, but there's so many records that you can't find. But there are people that are now the fake tribes that had access to the records to alter them in order to insert themselves as Indians.
Can I say
Um,
something on that?
yes,
So,
ma'am.
who have time to be playing games, acting stupid, arguing stupid, fighting stupid, any word you want to use? And yes, I'm using the word stupid because that's a distraction while they get to do those things, okay? And then these people are going to come back to my, well, where's my stuff? It's going to happen like it happened with our grandparents. It's going to go back into archive and fake papers going to come forward. Now I'm backing off Phoenix and I want you to finish what you were saying.
So now the original records that were there, and I think, and I'm gonna be honest, we were so eager to share correct information because of the saturation with Moors and Hebrews and different things. We were really trying to, bring the respect back to grandma and grandpa, right? And we shared a lot of information, and that made people, and we created the lane for to actual show receipts. We created the receipts, made people responsible. What we said out of our mouths, we were responsible for with valid primary firsthand information, right? That kind of spoke for itself. And we made a lot of things popular, and that also alerted the frauds to things that they need to go and get and obtain and try and stick their claim to. And they've been doing that for quite some time too. We did a show last year, and Chief was on the channel, and we read Dancing Rabbit, right? I think we read that treaty. And by the time we got up in the morning, the nation in Oklahoma, the Choctaw Nation, had changed the treaty. And we knew that it was different because 10, 12 hours prior, we read it aloud and had it shared on the screen. Am I right, Chief?
You are correct. And what they fail to realize, the information, most of the information they all picking up is coming from people like us that's out here.
Right.
And they're
Right.
using it back against us. And and,
Yep.
and, and all of this going, trying to join these tribes. My grandma on the road, I hear people say, I went to Oklahoma trying to put in paper in it. They're not letting you in. They're not letting in Mr. Waldo and them properly. They use their number as a
And they in the
statistic.
tribe. Yep.
And they use the statistic to get the funding. But they do not render the service. I'm not speaking for Wholesome in our nation. I'm speaking for the ones that's my friends that have given me the information and shared with me so we could compare what's the difference with what was happening to them on the reservation with black skin. And I'm going to use the word black skin and I'm going to come back to that too. Versus the ones off the reservation with black skin. That's a tribe. Versus individual Indians of black skin. Now, let me go on that black skin thing. If you give up everything that was fought in the past under black, brown, Negro, colored, J. Moore, I'm coming at you with this one. What rights do we have signed and guaranteed that have been ratified by law under Indigenous? And hey, y'all, when we start using the word Indigenous and Aboriginal, no, those people weren't. But we wasn't using it as to just blank out the reality of what your grandparents have on their paperwork. So Jamar, if I'm wrong, see, I'm one of these leaders don't mind coming out talking to the young people. You see, I was talking to the young lady. Her professor sent her to me. That's who I was meaning when I say Dr. Jack. But let me explain this to you. If we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. And they know that. Now, Jamar, in all of your research, have you found a ratified law in the United States of America that cover the word indigenous?
No.
Okay. Asking another question. Have you legally found, and I mean, awesome as they are for us, okay, because we have our audience here, have you legally found any paperwork that referred to us ratified law under the word black?
Nope.
Have you found any ratified law under the word colored? And have you found
No.
anything under the word Negro?
No.
Now, here we go, y'all. We finna go to class. Y'all ready to go to class?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
you use the word black, and I'm telling you why I say you haven't found it, but I'm gonna help all y'all, okay? Black was used as a description to describe the people who were non-white. Are y'all with me? Put it on there. Black described whoever was not labeled non-white. You see, y'all put that on there. Which underneath at one time, black could have been the same word Spanish used called Negro. Come on, y'all, let's put this stuff up here so when they come for some leftovers. Am I correct about that? So that means the Irish, the German, the Sicilians, the the Sicilian Italians, they at one time was considered black. Do y'all understand? Negro. So why are we running from the word black and we're not running from the word Negro? And Negro was used and ratified under the law. Even in the Civil Rights Bill, it was fought under the word Negro and black, but not fought under the word indigenous and Indian. Am I right? So these white folks then hijack your identity, those who are supposed to be American Indians of color, by making people ashamed of those words, and then they go embrace those words. Now I'm hearing white people saying they African American, they the colored people. Didn't y'all hear this lady running against Trump say she was colored?
Yes, I surely did. You talking about Nikki? What is it, Nikki Haley?
That's right. She said, I'm colored.
Nimrata. Her name is Nimrata.
Okay. So she's colored, but she's from India. Half Indian. From India. Not our Indian, but she classified herself colored. Why are we offended by the word colored? It meant non-white, not a race. I didn't never say it was a race. Go back and listen to any video I've done. It's a classification to X you out. Am I getting anywhere, or did y'all go to sleep on me? Things I see they went to sleep on us. They ain't saying nothing of you.
Oh, they did, Chief. They listen.
Getting caught up in the words you want to hear does not make it backed up by law. So if it doesn't back up by law and it have not been ratified, then you don't have nothing to stand on. Like my old people used to tell us, that means you don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. Go see what your grandmother papers were. Was she indigenous on her land papers? Is she aboriginal on her land papers? This is about land.
No.
Then when you have to go prove her indigenous and aboriginal to the land that you say you her grandchild or his grandchild, now you're gonna be sitting there, oh, well, oh, I don't put yourself up like that. Somebody wrote up there, you're right. They did have stuff say, Indian niggers. You right about that, Star Child. But do you think there was some of these people who we see that are they benefiting off of that? Our ancestors suffered by those people's ancestors, and they now benefiting to make you suffer. We should be asking questions. Where in a treaty is a petition ever or a law been signed for a casino? Hmm? What treaty is the casino in?
Not one.
So we need to make a list, J. Mark, that indigenous is a terminology we would like for them to give back to us that never got ratified to us. Aborigine, I've saw the paperwork. Y'all are correct. But what you're not correct on, the fight and the ratifications of the law did not go under those names. We got misclassified at each level. J. Mar, I was looking at some stuff you said, and I was listening at a video with you the other night. There are steps to that reclassification. And it didn't just happen in 2 years, 10, 20, not even my 64. So you are correct. We are trying to walk it back before we get justification of the misclassification. Are y'all with me? Okay,
Yeah.
break that down.
Yep.
Huh?
No, I'm totally with you. Go ahead.
Who and where? We need to be asking the question, where is the black people? There were paperwork saying they had black people. Where is the colored people? Where is the Negro people? Not worrying about indigenous and aborigine and what all we can put on this thing that we can type with our fingers on this paper amongst ourselves. We need to be asking questions. Even with going with this petition to Washington things, these are some of the questions that need to be asked. What happened to the black people of America? What happened to the colored people? What happened to the Negro? And if we get that, you'll find out the misclassification, then you're going to understand where African American come in 88 through Jesse Jackson. And what I'm saying making sense to you all? but
Yes.
they cannot answer us about indigenous and aborigine because I don't know nobody can show me some paperwork with that with their grandparents, great grand or great great.
Well, would I also be correct that you have to incorporate mulatto into that also?
That's
Whoever
right.
the leader, you are correct.
Rita just said
Mulatto.
that.
I have one of my grandfathers who's Cherokee. It showed Cherokee first, and then next time you look, he's a mulatto. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all are correct. Mulatto going in. But there are laws that you can find some things in there that talk about the mulatto people. They actually said how they came up with a mulatto. Correct? They give a description, a legal description. Anything we can get a legal description on. Now, what's the legal description of an African American? Please, somebody put it on there for me. Just like I can't find them that shipyard for slaves, I cannot find a definition for African Americans with facts. Have any of y'all found it?
On the legal on the census form, it does indicate who they deem as African American.
When was that done?
As recently as 2020, but it was probably updated maybe last year.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Because they don't want to just know what kind of black you are. They want to, if you black, they want to know if you Caribbean black, Jamaican black, like what kind of black are you?
And you know how they started that? Because so many of them was fussing about, well, what kind of black? Well,
Hmm.
what kind of white person? I had white people saying, gee, you know what kind of white I need to put down? White people never have to stop to think about what kind of white they was. They were just white. So we talking in these recent
Yeah.
years of the last census. Y'all hear me? But some of these people that say they're white, they can go back and find their people to be Italian, Irish, German. A lot of people who were Indians through slavery, listen to what I'm saying, because Indians were slave first, they lost a lot of identity. So you're going to force them to find identity when you know the system. That's why I said man-made world. Y'all with me? Man made them worldly terms. Our people didn't do that. So walk yourself back to your people where they were. Well, one of those laws protected them that they manipulated and then did another reclassification. Right now, the people who fought the African American fight, white folks, white Europeans, is taking it over. Y'all see it happening. White folks not colored. White folks is the Indians. Where do they want us to go? Are they angry because we are so intelligent that we got sense enough to know we've been had? Well, we ought to be proud of that. I said last night about black Europeans, I meant that. Black Europeans got here before the white Europeans got here. Y'all know that? Am I right, Ishmael and Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
And they married into the Indians first. And they was raping Indians too, first. So you are going to have people that have an African, for real, or a black European ancestry along with maybe the Indian ancestry. That can happen. I told y'all one of my grandfathers was French, and he's well documented. That's why I laugh when the people's running around here telling the Ducrees was Indian. If anything, Ducrees come from France. On a ship in Israel, you can look it up. Nicholas Ducree came in on a ship called the Nisa. And when he came, he had a white wife and some children on the ship with him. I didn't come from that white woman. He came over here and had children with Indian people. His sons did. So I cannot erase that drop, 1, 2 drop of Nicholas. But I did tell y'all, if I was not the granddaughter maybe of Nicholas Dupree, we may not be here either. We might be in Oklahoma. Let's just be honest. There's a good, bad, and the ugly to every part of our life right now if we got color
That's
skin.
right. That's right. People may not see it that way, but that is really it.
I hear people saying the Indians own slaves. Well, it's just like today. Now, people might take this out of order, but y'all know Chief is not politically correct. Black people own slaves in Louisiana in large numbers. Creoles own slaves. The Indians married people and picked up their ways. But that wasn't every Indian believed in that. Every Indian group or person or family didn't own slaves. The Chickasaw had a slave trade business. I still think they was working along with Tom Ackland and them too, Phoenix. You know, we keep seeing that pass cross and we keep seeing Natchez. So when you're saying you're Indian, how you know you didn't come from an Indian that sold slaves if you don't do your homework?
That's right.
Because there were traders in the Indian community. That's how we got in the mess we in. They were traders. You had kinfolks to sell you out. Did not that's what happened during the Dancing Rabbit Treaty? Didn't they have a fight and was killing up each other out there at the treaty signing, Phoenix?
Sure
And J
was.
Mo? But if we take and bicker over the color of our skin, indigenous, black, colored, there are laws that protected the black Indians. I'm going to tell you why, and the colored Indians. And there are proof that what they are benefiting from does not mean them. I want them people to show me where they, and Tom Ackland said he was too dark. Where was these people too dark to ride the bus? They had to get on the back of the bus. Where was these people too dark and being discriminated and couldn't eat in a restaurant or check in a hotel? These are the questions we need to be asking. Stop fighting each other and let's ask these questions where they can be heard at, like in Congress. How do these people fit the description to be discriminated against when even the Creoles had the brown bag test? So you have to make it, you got the brown bag test, you got the white only, and then it was the colored people. It said colored bathroom, colored seating, white only. And why I got young up there? Because some of these young people don't know that. When they was born, school was integrated. It was integrated, some was at the age of somebody in their 20s. Heck, your grandma was born during integration or right after integration. I have a sister 3 years younger than me. She didn't get to go through integration because she didn't start school till the next year after integration. She's 3 years younger than me. How can someone in their 20s argue with you about racism and segregation and integration if you came here integrated? Prior to then, some black people couldn't even have their baby in the hospital, couldn't go to the doctor, their people were sick. How you can get up there and because of civil rights, because in the civil rights bill it says about the unfairness to the colored people for adequate health care. It did not say unfair to indigenous. It didn't even say American Indian, but on the American Indian bill, right, Phoenix?
That's right.
And y'all know how the Indian bill get in there? It get in there when they start calling Dr. King to help fight for what was happening in Florida. I don't have to say it, Ishmael and Jamar know it front and back. So I'm going to shut up and let Jamar tell you what brought about the integration for the Indians of color. We still don't have it. Go ahead, Jamar, because some of them might not know what you have done the research in Ishmael and they need to go to your channel. But please explain to them who Dr. King was fighting for.
Are you specifically talking about the Poor People's Campaign?
That's one. But specifically in Florida with the Creek Indians, did not he say it when you
Yeah.
was researching?
Oh, yes, with
Yeah.
the
They was too
schools.
dark to ride the bus.
Yes, the schooling. Yes.
So okay, so how you too dark to ride the bus and you look like they look today? They playing with our minds if we let them. Just like that lady said she was colored and they was discriminated against her. And when they went down to Haley Town, them people called her a lie. Y'all, don't let them take your paperwork and use it back against you. We the ones need to be asking questions, J Mar.
That's right. That paperwork is evidence.
Dr. King said that we were in exile in our own land. He did not say we was in exile in somebody else's land or brought to this land and put in exile. He said we find ourselves in exile in our own land. So we ain't got time to be playing. The information gonna be gone off this internet. The research laboratory is gonna be closed down, and who haven't got there is gonna be really stuck for another 200 to 300 years. You ain't got time to play, and you can't think cause Phoenix win with her paperwork is gonna win for you. That go for Chief too. Everybody got to do their part. Get your paperwork. Get your proof, and collectively we come to the table with it like they was doing back then when Dr. King went to the table. And by the time they got through killing Dr. King and Malcolm and then turning around some of the leaders, everything got hijacked. Phoenix, I saw you kept using the word bootleg last night. Everything we ever done had problem with done been bootlegged and hijacked. And sometimes we bootleg ourselves and hijack ourselves. That's when it's bad.
Right.
Now, why did Chief come out here talking about this? Well, J. Moore, I talked to Phoenix and I talked to Mr. Walden, and I couldn't understand why people was attacking people that's trying to help. Do you understand that? Please help Chief J. Moore. Why are people attacking? They're supposed to be fighting to help each other. And what they fighting over don't make no sense. Y'all have some great leaders with J. Moore, Phoenix, Ishmael, Mr. Waldo, and all of this. And don't y'all understand people jealous because you have a good research team. You have a good team standing with you. You have people can write your petition, address your petition, battle for you. Don't let nobody tear you down because you're whipping yourself. We have 139 people in the room. I don't think you would be here if you don't want to be here. So we welcome all 138 now. But we know by the time we go offline, it'll be 1,000+ people. We are reaching more people in here, Phoenix, between your show, mine, J Mar, Ishmael, and others. We reaching more people than the average black church can reach on a common ground of what happened in America to people of color. Because the churches ain't even asking that question. They busy telling you what's gonna happen when you die. We trying to get this junk worked out. What happened to our people here? To have us in this dilemma that we're still in today, where black folks don't want us to say we are Indian because our skin is not white.
Right.
And it's
Why would another
complicated.
person?
I'm sorry. I just want
No,
to
no,
add that it's complicated once they add all these new foreign people of color to the mixing pot. Also,
that's correct.
what impact will that have in the next 100 years?
This is some serious stuff we talking about tonight. We thinking, we talking about it. Tell me what y'all, the audience, tell me what y'all think about what me and J Mar and Phoenix is talking about right now. Is it worth your time? If it's worth your time, let us know. Because we don't want to waste nobody's time talking about some serious issues that they don't have time to hear. Time is winding up. We don't have no time to waste. They done lured people of color into every trick in the book, but they ain't never lured you into standing up with you to address the
Mm.
real issue
Ain't that right?
that's going on
Ain't
in
that?
America. People walking up asking people for a vote. You got people with talk shows about to get their neck chopped off, sound like to make sure the Democrat is right, the Republican is right. Neither one of them suckers ain't right. We done been through nothing but Democrats and Republicans. And they now one addressed our issue. Taxation without representation. We pay tax, but we do not have a representative. Y'all getting what I'm saying? So when you're standing as your own representative, you cannot allow the outside to come in and intimidate and agitate. Tell you don't have strength to move forward. They weakening you. Bloodsuckers. Why would a person that say they are more or African American, why would you leave your platform to come to any of y'all platforms to get in an Indian fight? If you're not a bloodsucker. Do y'all get what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
When I'm in a room with white folks, I'm not fighting with them about what kind of white people they are. I don't care. Long as I know who I am and what I'm in that room for. I'm not going in that room to convert nobody. And some of this battling and bickering is about somebody trying to convert somebody to their understanding. And I might not want your understanding. That's right, vampires. Nothing but bloodsuckers. Some of them just a slap leech. Hook on you and you can't even get to them to get them off. Get some salt. They say post salt, they turn loose. You know what the salt is? The truth. When you stand with the truth, like J. Martin, Ishmael, and Phoenix, daggone leech, neither a vampire can't stay. They jealous of Phoenix. They jealous of Ishmael and J. Martin. Because they have a unity and a bond. And it's not our problem when somebody is jealous. And I wanted to tell you this, Phoenix and J. Martin, keep doing what y'all doing. Ishmael, how you on there with a doggone wrench when I told you come over here? Uh-huh. It's on there. Because I want him to have some say too. Him and Mr. Waldo on there. We're not worrying about bullies. We're too busy taking care of our business and getting these papers before they disappear permanently. And a whole lot of other people, when they come in at y'all, that's what you need to ask them. Have you gotten your paperwork straight yet? Because if you haven't gotten your paperwork straight, you don't have time to be over here picking with us. Yeah, Evans, parasites fit it too. And what make these people think they're going to bluff us out? I was talking to a gentleman from South Carolina today at the hotel, Phoenix, and he's telling me how there's some kind of chieftain come up who got connections from Carolina to Washington and wanting to take his 300 acres, his family been after their 300 acres that come from their grandma who was an Indian. But just so happened now his skin is fair complected. So here this man come, his skin must be fairer than this man. He gonna try to trick the people to say, tell Washington, tell the people to get off their land and give it to him because he the chief. He said, oh, be doggone. Ain't happening here. So anywhere these people finding people with land patents and Jamar, you hit on something me and him hit on today. How we know they done brought all these people to the country? I want y'all to hear me. They don't have nowhere to live. They don't have no money. But we paying for everything for them. And ain't nobody helping us. But we helping another country. And we have people that fought for this country. But we still are not enough of a human being for them to look at the Indians with skin color brown. Am I saying pretty much what you were saying about the petition today, Phoenix?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
We working and can't hardly make it in America. Got us taking care of so many countries. Even the white people walking up to me saying, how many more countries we going to take care of? What America is, the welfare program to other countries? And abuse the first people of this country? Come on now. We got too much going on. Why didn't I say what? Okay, they don't like when you say Jesus was black also. Well, my daughter over there in the Middle East, and she said if he came out from over in them areas, he couldn't be nothing but black. But we ain't gonna even bicker with him on that. Let me do this. Some people say they woke up. No, they sleepwalking, okay? Because if a person is really woke, they have better understanding where they going. Y'all with where I'm at? When you're
Yeah,
sleepwalking, you're stumbling in the dark and falling and everything else. You actually is not conscious. You're asleep. So we cannot get mad with a sleep person for sleepwalking. Y'all getting what I'm saying?
that's it.
But we can blame ourselves if we stupid enough to follow a sleepwalker. That's what we have to be more aware of. I was also the one up there that was saying about they get mad if you say Jesus was black. And that covers a whole lot of stuff. Ishmael, you and Mr. Waldo come over. Please.
I don't think they could see the link.
I'm fixing to get them the link because we're going to let the enemy have their own party. We got too much good work to do, guys. Too much. And we have done a lot of great work. We got a whole lot more to do. And all this here junk people come and attack you in your chat room, that's jealousy. That's just straight jealousy. And when you start calling a spade, pointing the spades out, they go away. I ain't say they gone now. I say they go away. Just to confirm, you'd like to call. Siri finna call Mr. Waldo for me. Okay, Phoenix, you have a good team. You're close on that petition. I think it's 600 and something to go. Would somebody please go see how many more it is to go? And why don't we all put a post tonight on our Facebook or wherever, asking those who have not signed, because we ought to knock that 600 out real quick, right, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me hear what Amy said. Okay, Amy said she wanted me to get to the good part. I was waiting to get Mr. Waldo. She said it's okay. Phoenix, when you look at the word young, black, and indigenous, you and J Mark, tell me what you see that I'm saying there. Let me say it again. Young, black, and indigenous. I didn't use the word colored or Negro. I used the two controversial words right now, black and indigenous. So you could break it apart. You can't put it together, but you can break it apart. Let me see what somebody said here. Let me get this. Now that is crazy, Chief.
Somebody in the chat says.
Okay. I don't have time to be honest with you, but the government to steal people tribe by stealing their identity. We also know they stole it, but the problem is not about it been stolen. We know that. The problem is how do you get back your identity that was stolen? That's the bigger question. And fighting and bickering is not going to get it. One way to start doing it is people connect together their power, research, their voice, so it can be heard. And there's some people who say they're indigenous. They may not be indigenous to America, That's why I put the word indigenous there. But you be indigenous to whatever country you came from. Am I right, Jamar?
Indigenous to somewhere might not be here.
Yes.
And I
So,
know also we should be careful with that word too, right, Chief? I think we had this discussion because indigene means without, right? You
all
came
right,
here without something at the
that's right.
start.
That's right.
At the beginning, you had nothing.
And that's
So
why I wanted to get Mr. Waldo, Ishmael, and Jamar on here with us, Phoenix. Because they're fighting over the word indigenous without fully understanding and comprehending what they're saying. But they will get more mad about the word black than they will with indigenous. That's what I was asking just now. Tell them about those two words, Phoenix.
yeah, indigenous essentially means you came with nothing. Hold on, I'll get the etymology.
While she doing that, let me go ahead and say my hellos to everybody. Got to kind of give me a little ground today. I've been out playing with kids, so I'm moving kind of slow. I just got through eating.
All right, Mr. Waldo, I was in the back talking to Amy for a minute. Amy, you know how she is, you and Phoenix. She want to make sure people understand. I'm saying indigenous. I'm saying indigenous was used at a point in time without being, how can I put it, with a proper definition. Because if you come from Africa, you are indigenous to Africa. You can be indigenous to many other countries. So indigenous does not mean America.
Wait a minute, Chief. Now, I remember that they started using the word indigenous right around the same time they started using the word Native Americans around here.
Come on, that's what I'm trying to say.
They didn't, the term indigenous was not a term that was used until recently. And then you still got this issue if you're gonna deal with that term
That's
indigenous,
correct.
what
And
you gonna do?
aborigine
Well,
and
wait a minute.
aboriginal only applies to Pacific Islanders and like New Guinea, Sandwich Islands,
Well,
and Australia, New
my
Zealand.
thing is this: how you gonna find documentation that's written down to Aboriginals or Indigenous? Because those wasn't the classifications that they was using at that time. These is new classifications. Aboriginals didn't get started until they got to Australia. They were the first Aboriginals. There were no Aboriginals in common knowledge before them. And Indigenous, that's just like Native American or African American. That's a new, it's being used now in a new context. Let's put it like that. It's not a new word. There's no new words, but the context that they putting it in has changed. See what I'm saying?
And it's a topic we need to discuss. I see Indian Jazz say 1588. She said, I found it was first used in 1588, but not over here. That's what we're saying, Jazz. But we got people fighting Phoenix or Mr. Waldo, anything they say, and if they're not saying African American or Indigenous or Native American, you got to battle with somebody on one of those ends that's going to disagree with you.
Now hold on, because we know in this world there's always gonna be people that's gonna disagree.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. So why should we burn our energy like we said, trying
Well,
to deal with
here's
that?
here's the problem. Sometimes I enjoy it.
I knew you was going to say that.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
But this is what
Sometimes
people don't
I
understand.
enjoy it.
But while you enjoying it, you already have your paperwork.
Well, yeah, I enjoy it because I know that they don't have their papers, and it bothers me, and it kind of boggles my mind how somebody who don't know who they are, or where they come from, gonna come up to me and tell me who I am and where I came from.
Thank you.
It's
Now,
crazy to me.
I want to solve this right here where somebody said indigenous was used in America. They didn't get to Australia till the 1800s. Aboriginal was used in Australia more. And
Yep.
there are some things where you'll see Aboriginal was used here, but who used that
Not, but
terminology?
well, now here you go, because now we got to deal with the difference between common usage and classifications.
Thank you.
The
And
the
who did
first,
those things?
yeah.
What I was saying, Mr. Waldo, before you came in, or you might have was there, we
Now,
gotta deal with what have paperwork. If your grandmother paperwork that I saw, that you let me see, that was
hmm
legit, I did not see her as, they didn't say indigenous. It didn't say Native American.
nope,
It
that's
didn't
an
say
Indian.
Indian. Wait, it didn't say Indian. It said Creek by blood.
Yep.
Your identification was your tribe. Her land was given to her because she was a Creek Indian by blood. It has nothing on there say indigenous, nothing on there say aboriginal. So if Mr. Waldo starts saying he's an aboriginal or he's indigenous, what
Mhm.
that's gonna do for your paperwork?
Well, see, that's my point though, because you got to go with what the documentation say. You start straying outside the documentation, you finna go down a path that you gonna get lost on.
Like I said earlier, then you're gonna be sitting there looking stupid when they say, "Show me your indigenous grandma
Yep.
paperwork or your aboriginal grandmother's paperwork." But you can find paperwork with your people with black, colored, Negro, mulatto. You can find
I don't,
laws
I
that can
don't
connect.
see, I don't see what the problem with the word colored was. When they had that movie Roots playing back when we was kids, I asked my grandma, and I imagine a few of y'all done heard me say this before, but I asked her what we were. And she said, we colored folk.
Because
And
they
that
would
was,
accept the word colored
well,
because
that was fine with me.
but I tell you what I couldn't do with my grandparents.
Hmm.
Come here trying to tell somebody in Boca they was black. I told you all, I'm not
Oh,
around
no.
running around here using that word.
Woo, Lord,
If my
no.
grandpa was living right now, I might be hanging somewhere from a tree. He'd think I'd turned to be a Klan to the tribe because I used the word
Well,
black. They was offended by that word.
highly, highly offensive term.
He preferred you to say he was Shatta, but if the white folks saw him and they addressed him as colored, he didn't get his man. But they sure better not call him black.
Yep.
And he wasn't no
That
scared
was
man. He was gonna say it.
that was a
I'm gonna
fight
bring
there, though.
family. I'm gonna bring more family members on between both and Lacoma and let you see what I'm saying. And it wasn't about they was trying to be white either.
Hmm.
So we got people bickering and jumping in these chat rooms, arguing over. If I didn't hear nothing about a Moore till them people came here in 2008 and 9, them crazy
Hmm.
people, and that's when I heard
Hmm.
about a Moore. I ain't know nothing about no Dr. York till them crazy people came here. I ain't know nothing
Nah,
about no Piedmont till them crazy people come here. I'm naming
well,
these names
now,
for a
hold
reason.
on,
You want me to
then.
tell you why I'm naming them? Those names were not part of our community. Being an
I met
Indian wasn't get on the internet. There were no internet in my lifetime till 90. I built my first computer in 95, 96, somewhere in there. Okay, so how in the heck we are arguing over stuff on the internet that's actually younger than some of the children that's on here?
that show you how lower level these conversations really happen on.
They
Well,
fussing over this stuff.
yeah, well,
Fussing
it's
over
not.
nothing
It's
about
it's
Walter Plucker. I knew about Walter Plucker for the internet.
well,
I
it's
knew
not.
about all of this stuff that's classification, guys. And if he reclassified the Indians to Negroes, how do we have Indians in Oklahoma looking like Asians and whites and across America? Just help me, Mr. Waldo.
Help you, help me. Cause no, I ain't gonna even get into that whole theory thing, but it don't make sense. It
They
was a
said that
takeover, but
Plucker
you
put the
know, the more I look at it, the more I think that the takeover happened right there around the end of the Civil War and the signing of that 1866 treaty. Make sure my clothes in the washer
yeah
bin are dry.
somewhere, Mr. Waldo.
Hmm?
How listen at me now. We ain't that but a few months apart. I just decided to get here before you. That was all, about 6, 7 months or something like that.
Because you women folk don't know how to stay where you put you.
I'm not that much older than you, so we
Y'all
came
just
up
want
in the
y'all
same
want to go
period.
everywhere. Yep.
Help me understand this. They
Mhm.
specifically say, and since somebody brought up Walter Plucker, that's a good example, L.J. John. They say Plucker changed the Indians into colored and Negro people and mulattoes, correct?
Mhm.
He wasn't changing Indians into white folks because he didn't want them nowhere near 'em.
Mm-mm. Matter of fact, Virginia said they didn't want no Indians inside their border.
So how we get all these white Indians, no
Mm.
colored Indians, but none of them can't go get me a piece of paper showing their grandmother was colored or their
Well,
grandmother.
now since you brought up Virginia, you got that Daughters of Pocahontas thing up there, whatever it is, Society of Pocahontas, where you got all those white folks in there claiming to be kin to Pocahontas.
That's right. Bay 7, I understood what you were saying. We know they trying to take the land. That's the whole fight is land. Right now in Oklahoma, they want, and I'm talking to Bay 7, Mr. Waldo. Right now in Oklahoma, that's why I wanted him to be on here. Right now in
Mm.
Oklahoma, they want them to give the land rights and the money for the royalties to the nations, not the people who actually have the land and the land patent. Am I correct, Mr. Waldo?
Hmm.
And I
This,
just talked to a gentleman today, Mr. Waldo, at the hotel who told me the same thing is happening in Carolina. Some chief that they don't know nothing about, that the government people say is a chief, he want the land from them people. The man said they crazy, ain't getting nothing. And most probably he listening to the show tonight because I told him to listen in because I want to let y'all know.
mm,
And he's a fair complected person. So like he say, you can't tell me I'm too dark. But it is not about the color of the skin. It's the paperwork. And he said majority of the people there are the original people that had the land.
they the ones
What the
with the
people want.
paperwork.
He said, I have paperwork, Chief. And that's why they ain't getting ours. They trying to flood me out around here. For what? To get land. We ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna get a boat. Not going nowhere. Phoenix,
go
tell me what
go
you have to
fishing.
say about it.
That's right. I get a boat and learn how to swim. Couple life preservers. Hmm.
J Mar quiet, y'all. J Mar,
I'm
what
I'm
would
a
you do?
raise the roof a little bit.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Phoenix, you and Clayton got me last night. By the time I got off that phone, I was wiped the hell out.
They double teamed you?
We, uh,
Yeah,
we
they were.
did we did not fall asleep. We and Clay didn't
No,
take
they
a
stayed
nap on the
awake,
phone the
but they
long
hey,
time.
they was
They
leaning
said
on
they
each
didn't fall
other.
asleep. Yeah, the two that falls asleep.
Hey, they was leaning on each other.
Neither one of them went to sleep.
No, I thought I had them good too. I figured they were gonna start singing to me, and they didn't do it.
You know, one of them was supposed to start snoring pretty loud, but
Oh, if
y'all
one would have
must have been
went
talking
down,
a
the other
good
one would have
topic.
went down. They
Now,
cheated me.
J Mar, you younger, but you ain't young. You very mature. Don't you see what Chief trying to say? They trying to take us down the wrong road on this indigenous fight, the black fight, trying to make the young people fight the old people, trying to
Mm.
make the old people fight the young people. And we trapped in this man-made world. They made those names up. They made those classifications.
They made up the wrong names.
I've been saying that. One wild Oklahoma now, Mr. Walker, here's a good example. I didn't meet you till 2019. We met
I already know where you go.
January. You know, I ain't want to come to Oklahoma. I don't know why they think I want something from them over there, because you know I ain't want to come to Oklahoma then. Now, you know Amy don't want to cross no bridge to come to Oklahoma, okay? I don't even think she want to walk across that bridge. But, Mr. Waldo, were not them people Choctaw
Yep.
Indians? All your life, what was they? Please tell
Yep.
our audience.
They was all Choctaws. But they
What's on
changed
their
that too.
cars? What's on their
Huh?
cars and what they riding with now? Who they say they
Oh,
are?
that's the Choctaw spirit. We're in the Choctaw spirit now.
Did y'all hear
They
that?
they going back to the Choctaw Nation, say.
No,
That
no.
and wait a minute, might I add, that was after a long, long period of silence, was it not?
Yep, yep, yep. Well, like you were saying, they be listening because they went and changed Article 14 of they Dance Rabbit Creek Treaty after we did that show. And they
And
went
you
straight
live in
and did
Oklahoma
that.
and you saw the website, Phoenix saw the website, why they
They did
changed.
they did
Because
that
they
that
didn't know
night.
what Article 14 was till I said it.
Yep, did it that night.
So
We
what I'm
called
telling
it.
people out there, stop following these people who already been stealing and done stole themselves lost with the wrong name, the
Mhm.
wrong race, the wrong grandma with no land papers.
That's the ones they want you to do. That's the one they want you to try to chase behind. That's that blank path they want to send you on. Especially when you're dealing around here in Oklahoma because they didn't give the land to them. They gave the land to us.
Thank you. Oh, but Oklahoma say we gave all our land. Or let me say it like them. We gave all our land to the slaves, our slaves. Okay, if they gave all your land to the slave and y'all the slaves, then y'all need to go sue your master.
They okay. The- yeah,
Because I
they
find that
claim
very stupid. They ain't do that out here. They wasn't
they
giving
didn't.
slaves
They
all the
didn't
land
do.
out here.
You know, doggone well they didn't do that here either.
And then I got
Matter
another
of
one,
fact,
J-Mo.
wait a minute. If you go back and look at the Toka Agreement, the Chickasaws gave all they so-called Africans $100 and told them to get out of Oklahoma.
Okay?
Yes, they did tell them to skedaddle.
Okay,
And I
so
think
now
what they
don't
had like
wait a minute.
90 days. Hold
Yep.
on. And before they changed that Choctaw Treaty, it sure said the same thing. They had
That's right.
Africans had 90 days to leave, or
Okay, now
nobody was getting money.
who who is these freedmen then? Because they can't be
That's
the
what my
Africans.
next
The
question was.
Africans,
Amy
yeah.
cut me short. I was finna ask J-Mo. J-Mo, please help me. Who is the freedmen? Because
That's what I'm
there are
telling you.
freedmen and freedmen. Now, that's two
No, that's
different
two
things.
different things. Two different things. Two different
Two
things. Two
different
different
things.
things. That's two different things. A freed man and a freed man are not the same thing. A freed
No,
man
they are not.
and a free man are not the same. A free man is somebody from the church.
Now, could that
They
have
had
been the white folks who was the free man, who had the
yes, they
right
had
Yes,
an
to
oath
vote
ma'am.
they had to
and
take.
be a
They
citizen,
had
and
they
then
had the
switch
freedman's
his
oath.
identity? Look like
Yep.
he switched his identity of freeman, gave that to your people, and then he took the Indian identity. I think I see a switch swatch. I've been telling you.
I was just gonna tell you that that was a takeover in Indian territory right at the end of that Civil War.
Well, first of all, y'all didn't have any laws of the United States to protect you at that time.
Nope.
So y'all became the gangster country where everybody can go take, do, enslave people, whatever. It was go do whatever.
Well, they
Anybody
was
that wanted to
supposed to
be
do all the protecting.
well,
The
anybody
old
that didn't want to be under United States jurisdiction for whatever reason they may have for not wanting to be under United States jurisdiction, they either came into Oklahoma or they went to Texas or they went to Mexico.
One of them treaties with the Seminoles, when they finally came to Oklahoma, they asked them to do the policing.
Yep.
This is
That's right.
before the 1866. The Seminole was supposed to be the military force.
That's how you
Yep.
end up getting Bears Reeves. They needed law and order. They needed somebody to go
Well,
get the white, again, white and black.
that's right. I was just going to tell
Go
you.
out of Oklahoma.
And Bass Reeves, he patrolled that Creek and Cherokee territory. That was his biggest function. That's why
But
when he
now,
retired,
him
when
in
he quit,
Tulsa, Oklahoma, being classified African American zone when the word African American was not even being used at
thank
that
you,
time.
thank you. But neither was the term black.
That's
See,
correct.
so it
Blacks
wasn't
started
black
coming
law.
in. Matter
Actually,
of fact, but you
if
can't
they
get the
weren't,
word black because most kids that they sent to school after integration moved out from under the word black and got reclassified. I mean, moved out from under Negro, got
and got
reclassified as black.
reclassified as black. But the
So if you
original
don't
name,
take your
the
if you
name that
don't take the
Green,
paper trail, you have to take your whole reclassification paper trail. Okay, Indian Jazz and Davita, you
well,
have to
look,
use your whole paper trail to back you up to who you came from.
Yep.
now let's look at this Tulsa because that's kind of a raw deal they put them people under. It wasn't called Black Wall Street either. It
That's
was
right.
Greenwood.
Thank you.
The, the place got a name. They done took the name completely away from the place. People don't even call it by its name. They call it Black Wall Street.
So that means Black Wall Street came under the time of the timeline of when they were classifying people as black.
There
That's a
you go.
renaming of Greenwood.
Yep.
Now it's African American Wall Street.
And they got some dude down there claiming to be an African king or something, working with Benjamin Crump, hauling these people across the ocean to Africa, trying to make them be Africans.
Remember, they took the beloved from Tulsa, the survivor, the last
Yep.
survivor who she just passed away. They took her and her brother, got them COVID shots, and took them over to Ghana.
That's them is the ones I'm talking about.
Okay, y'all.
Them,
One of our people got something
Viola
said.
Fletcher.
I want to get clarity. Indian Jazz. You say I was sleepwalking. When? Lately?
no, she had to wake up.
She said I was sleepwalking. I just caught that. I gotta see. I thought she was here with us. Now she thought she was sleepwalking, Mr. Waldo.
Uh, poor baby.
Oh, come on now, Jazz. You was talking about have some dinner and all that stuff. We out here now. We can't be sleepwalking now, Mr. Waldo. They want us to go to
Mm.
sleep. We're going to
No, I
sleep.
just, hey, just hang around. You wake up. You can't sleepwalk forever. You run into the wall eventually.
Look, y'all. People are jealous and envious of y'all because you are woke. Okay?
Hmm.
They come to y'all page to distract y'all with this terminology of black or young. They young black, indigenous. I should have put aboriginal, Mr. Waldo. None of that don't have any paperwork to prove too much. Nothing. The only one they can use is black out of what they're fighting about. Like you said, once it was Black Wall Street. Hear that once. But before it was once Black Wall Street, he said it was Greenwood.
That's the name of it.
You cannot erase the legal points. Just and I'm going into a very sticky topic on this one to show you how you can. You can change your sex on paper
Mm.
in America. You could change the clothes you buy and shop at the women or the men's store. And if you're a man, you got only one doctor you're gonna go to because your prostate's still there and you didn't get over it. So the bottom line to research what you started out, let me see, do you have an ovary or a prostate?
Mm-hmm. 100 years from now, when they look at this skeleton, they gonna know it was a man or a woman real quick. The
Now,
pelvis bone ain't the same.
based on law, they could say anything. See, America did that.
Yep.
And they made it a law. Did it change the scientific facts about it? Please, somebody
Mm.
else in the audience, please, J Mar, Phoenix, somebody tell me, did writing a law
No,
change
ma'am.
the facts of a pelvis difference, as he said, but a
Yep.
prostate and a uterus?
Nope.
No,
Well,
ma'am.
they trying to learn how to transplant uteruses now.
And then you're going to be able to see 1,000 years ago that was a transplanted uterus.
Yep.
Thank you for the 49.99 donation.
Hey, don't that transplanted uterus still gotta fit in a male pelvis?
The
Hold on,
male,
let me
pe-
go on
the
mute.
male, the
Let me
male
go on
It's
mute.
pelvis
still not. It's still not gonna do
is
what
not
it's supposed to
the
do.
the
Wait
pelvis.
a minute,
The
y'all. That's
pelvis
a
of a
good one,
man
J
ain't
Mar.
built the same.
Wait a minute,
It-
y'all. J Mar don't talk too often, but that was a good one, J Mar. Come on. How it's gonna fit?
It don't.
What they gonna
A
do? Trim
woman,
it
a
down?
woman's pelvis is like a saddle, and a male's pelvis is just vertical.
So they gonna
That
glue it to it, huh?
I don't know. It's the craziest ideal I ever heard. But these people around here, they think they can make Frankenstein's monster now. Hell, sometimes looking at them, I think they can make Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, a couple of things you sent me, Mr. Waldo, is just about there.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So, but they ain't gonna never be able to change that basic biology. That bone structure is that bone structure. You can put on a dress and call yourself a chicken if that's what you feel like doing.
Well, that's why they have that new legal word, self-identify.
Yeah, well, how come we can't self-identify as being Indians without having to beat
Oh,
up
that's
everybody
where
on
we
the
at.
block?
Oh, this is a good discussion tonight. That's what I'm talking about. If we say who we are, then we liars, connivers, and all kind of stuff.
No,
A
but
man
see
can
that,
be a woman, and
wait a
a
minute,
woman can
hold
be a
on,
man.
hold on, because see that's where that whole self-determination argument seems to fall apart. Because obviously everybody can't self-determinate what they need to self-determinate, and
Not in Jesus.
if one can't do it, how the hell is everybody else gonna do it?
Because it's whites only. It's not colors. Yes.
Mm.
There's
And that's why,
invisible
hey,
signs
wait a
still
minute.
there.
And that's why no matter what they tell me, they will always be men in dresses. Cause your self-identification don't work no better than my self-identification don't work.
And
So
No,
you just
I
that's
don't care
right.
what law they done passed, the white
yeah.
folks haven't stopped being prejudiced against black folks. And the Civil Rights Bill passed in the 1800, and it passed again in the 1900. 100 years later, and they still don't like us. So you know what? A piece of paper don't change nothing.
Well, hold on. Cause see now here's where this black word gets to be problematic.
Come on.
When you dealing with this term black, you can bring in every dark skinned person across the globe under
I
that
think
term.
that's what you said earlier, huh, J Mark?
You see? When they was using the classification of Negro, they actually would put American Negro.
That's right.
You see? And then you had the classification of color. Well, there's only two groups of colored people on this planet. Us here and those in South Africa.
Okay.
So you could be very specific about who you was talking about. But
I don't know.
under that term black, you done lost the ability to be specific. And in the process of losing the ability to be specific, you've also wiped out somebody's history. Because now instead of having your own individual unique history, heritage, and culture, you just washed out in a sea of blackness. So
Okay.
they stealing from you when they use that term. And you can see the way it operates because they steal it from you and give it to everybody else.
But you see, this is what we trying to get people to see. Some of them abandon their own paper trail, trying to jump to a name that does not tie to them
Well, yeah.
on land
And
or
that's why
blood.
they can't find their way back to where they need to go because they trying to go down the trail that's just it leads nowhere.
See,
It goes nowhere. Without the term black, they wouldn't be able to call you an African.
that's right. And if you notice, Mr. Waldo, you and I started. I had invited you in a conference with me one time. If you could think back, that was in I think 20. I what Terrence was living in Compton. Had been 2021. Okay. And we were talking with this group, and I told you I had to go by my little cousin. And I said, look, I'm gonna go on the balcony, we're gonna talk. And we were talking to all these scholars, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was talking about last night when they were trying to make us be black. You remember that? And
Yep.
African American. And
Yep.
y'all, that was a good meeting because it was me and Mr. Waldo. I told him, I said, look, I'll come on and speak as an Indian from off the reservation, but let me invite my friend Mr. Waldo from the reservation. Boy, we had fun with them, didn't we?
Yeah, there was some good old nights there though.
They could not
that's when the colleges tried to come for us.
They could not let me say they could not scholarly convince
Yep.
us nothing. And they didn't want to give up. So we had to deal with them on Buffalo Soldiers.
I was just gonna say, remember the Buffalo Soldiers popped up, and we had a 2 3 hour long conversation with that man.
That was a long conference. And then what boiled down was when the man called me from the Buffalo Soldiers to have breakfast with him that next morning at the Waffle House because he was doing his little research while we was on there, and he was like, "Wait a minute, you right. We do owe you an apology. Would you come
That
down and
gun right.
apologize at the program?" No, I ain't coming to your program to apologize to me. Apologize publicly. Because what I'm saying is factual. You want me to uphold and honor the Buffalo Soldiers, and I got paperwork proving they was killing the people for the white
That's
man to take
yep.
the land?
They is not the friend of the American Indian. Don't let them people trick you with that buffalo. They try to do that with the Seminole scouts too, and try to call them buffalo soldiers, but them was not buffalo soldiers. And buffalo soldiers like killing Indians. That's
Thank
what
you,
they
Lil Rock,
enjoy.
for coming on. Sorry to hear you lost your mom.
Yeah, we had a real conversation with that buffalo soldier.
Look, let me tell you something, Mr. Waldo. They tried to get us on Buffalo Soldiers. They tried to get us on African American. They tried to get us on black. And you and I was standing at black and brown ground. And when nobody wanted to use black and brown, I said, if y'all want us to come do stuff, start saying black and brown people because y'all ain't counting us in like the white folks. Now, everywhere you hear these scholars, they try, even the news ones now, they say black and brown people because they
Yep.
didn't know it was offending us till we told them that is offensive what you are doing. You are
Well, no.
excluding us, not including us.
Now is when you need Mr. Purley to tell you about what he been catching in them colleges while he's up there trying to figure out which direction he's supposed to go in.
Well, I didn't call his name earlier, but I called yours. I said I talked to somebody there. They really just put him on a frying pan and shake him up and flip him over like a
Man,
pancake because he was talking to you and you said you was an Indian and you didn't say you was African American. So they want to know what a Indian doing on an African American show.
yep.
But white and
I
Asian
did say
Indians
I
could go
was
on there.
African American on his show.
Huh?
I know. But they, now what the deal is, he went back to his place of employment and started telling them college professors about these black Indians. And they launched a full scale attack on his butt. Had
So
him
Yeah,
calling
well,
me
where
talking
he's
about what
at,
am I supposed to do, huh?
they are trying. I sent y'all the article. West Virginia, Kentucky, Georgia, all the places where they said there aren't any Indians. They are trying to establish some now, and we're interrupting that.
Yeah, well, now this is the problem. I'm gonna tell you now. That's gonna tie back to these five tribes. Now, I done said this 1,000 times, and Chief know it. When they look back across that Mississippi River, looking for the people that they figured out that they left behind, they're not finding people that look like them. They finding us. So now, in order to make their little lie keep going, they got to go get them some people that look like us to claim to be Indians.
let
Because
me tell y'all,
we are the black and African American.
I see somebody on here. I just said condolences to him for losing his mom. And he said his mom picked me up. That's the only person that ever picked me up. And I went somewhere with him like that, who said there was an Indian in Arkansas. And this person know when I was in Arkansas, just like I am here, I was being chief. Let me tell you something. We got people out there talking about they chiefs and they leaders, Mr. Waldo, and nobody know them but them little small groups. That's how they can keep popping up.
I
And we're
know.
not asking where these people come from. We didn't need to ask who is their grandma. How you get to look like you look? Show me your colored papers. See, don't abandon colored and black papers right now. Them colored and black markers they threw on us can be used back on them now. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? J Mar,
Yes,
you with where
ma'am.
I'm at?
Yes.
If they don't have no black and colored report cards, black and colored school records, black and colored something, birth certificate, how in the heck? But all of the reclassification of Indians to that, and all the work it took for them to reclassify us over there, how in the heck we got white folks who have white on their birth certificate, their school records, now say they are 100% American Indian? After a while, them people coming from another country to be able to get some free stuff from the United States, they'll be able to classify themselves as a tribe.
Yep, like these Mexicans is fixing to do.
Y'all with
You
me?
watching? You watching?
Amy said, Mr. Waldo, the Mexicans kin before the other.
Well, they gonna go out on the reservations.
But we can't do nothing because we restricted. So we still under where they said colors only, whites only sign. You just
Yeah,
don't see the sign, but the sign is there.
Yeah, but now it's everybody but the Indians.
Yeah, but it was like that once before. It's just coming back to that.
Hmm. Now you notice
Yeah.
that stuff seems to be on that wash, rinse, and repeat cycle.
And we the one fought the battle that they benefiting from on all sides. Hmm.
To sit here and look down their nose at you
Yeah.
and tell you how you don't measure up to they made up standards and try to dog you out and denigrate you in every form and fashion there is, but they still surviving on your ancestors' fight.
Okay. Base 7 of my answer you. Thank you very much for complimenting on the history lesson. But let me tell you, when the difference in a person that can teach history and one that's trying to create history, when you live history, you know it. I don't have to have a written script. I don't have to do no research. I live what I'm talking, and my people lived it. And I would not come on here and waste y'all time. It'd be a disrespect if I wasn't coming factual. Mr. Waldo been around, things been around. They know I deal around here fighting in politics, and I don't want to be a politician. But I will fight the black ones, the white ones, the gray-headed ones, and the black-headed ones when it come down to right on history. So when y'all don't see me a lot of time, Mr. Waldo, know I be having on 6 pair of boxing gloves.
In that
That's
container.
right.
Six
in
pair.
that in that
And
container.
some combat boots.
Oh yeah.
Uh
But I'm starting to see white folks can get elected, leave. Mr. Waldo, I have to go there with you and things before I leave. Because even the white people asking me questions about this today, how it happened. I said, I don't know, y'all white folks always work it out. We ain't never had those privileges. We not privileged, y'all is. How a white man can be the coroner of St. Tammany Parish and he's a child molester.
mm,
Yes, indeed.
Accused. Let's say non convicted, but accused. Tell the
And
other
didn't have
leadership,
nobody running against them either.
well, the poor little man that tried to run against him, they bluffed him out. That's Louisiana politics. That's down south. And so he went in without a vote. Nobody
mm,
did a background check on him, none of this junk. So he worked for the coroner's office without a background check. Then he turned on the coroner because he lost his job, and he ran for office and made sure nobody went in but him. So he won without an election. Now, how many
mm.
people of color you think been accused of child molestation in New Mexico could come to Louisiana? They say plus 2 other states and work, and nobody check your background.
Knowing
Hmm?
he ain't supposed to cross
And
state
no,
lines.
and wrote a statement admitting to it. Thursday night it was hot in St. Tammany Parish in the council meeting. It's 13 whites, 1 black. And
Mm,
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't hear the parish president say nothing, but he should have. Even the coroner's office was battling. And I was sitting looking and saying, how this man get that far when we can't even be just an Indian without everybody rising up? It's hard, I see, for white folks to fight white folks because each one of them got their own white power. That's all I can see, guys.
mm. I'm
Y'all
gonna have to agree
understand?
with oh.
And while we keep losing, because somebody throw a bone over there by us across the fence, Mr. Waldo, and we over there, over the daggone
Yeah,
bone, people that went on in there and got what they
and
want.
they bite
And we over
for it.
there,
The same way they bite for
and got what they want.
it. That's fishing.
Y'all give them dead bones back. We
Y'all
want
give
stuff
them
with
them
meat
dead
on.
bones back. We gonna stuff with meat on.
That you can taste.
Yeah. And I don't
Yeah.
want that new food they making
Mm,
that
And I don't
says
want
on the
that new food they
package
making that says on
taste
the
like
package
mm.
tomatoes.
taste like tomatoes.
No, flavored with.
Yeah. We getting
Yeah.
feedback for some reason.
We getting feedback or something.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah, I
may be
think that
you,
may
Mr.
be
Waldo.
Mr.
J
Waldo.
Okay,
Mark,
hold on. Let me.
please.
J Mark,
I'm gonna pop out, y'all, and then I'll just catch up on the other side. Cause it might
J
be my
Mark,
phone. My phone been tripping all day.
okay.
okay.
So I'll talk to y'all in a little bit.
Okay, Mr.
J
Okay,
Mark,
Waldo.
Mr.
tell
Waldo.
us what you feel. What you feel, J Mark?
I think you're definitely right on the money when it comes to us getting rid of some of these words that the political spectrum has left out of mainstream vernacular. Um, the Negro, the colored. I totally align with even the color aspect. Personally, I lost a grandmother in 2023, but she lived to be 101.
Okay.
And in her experience, they were colored people,
Okay.
you know, and she never aligned with the term black. And so you're talking about a woman coming from born in North Carolina in 1920, coming up north. And even in her old age in 2023, she couldn't align with that word. So
Okay.
now, when we fast forward to today and we run across even how they're trying to get rid of the word Negro within the government documents, that isn't in turn getting rid of any of my ancestors that have that classification.
Thank you. I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. I just want to know, did you understand what Chief was saying? Okay. We can't do that to our people. Okay. Can't. They got reclassified, just like we've been reclassified. And what you're saying with your grandmother 100 and some years ago, the terminology black was not the classification. Colored was. And she finally accepted that, and then she wasn't moving to black. And we should have been that way with African American. Okay?
Yeah.
So those who
Hmm.
gave in to the term African American was, I'm gonna say it this way, was more weaker than your grandmother that was 100 and some years back with no rights, who said we ain't going no farther. You with where I'm at?
That's right.
Yes.
Peer pressure. And that's what they be doing when they come in the rooms with that. That's peer pressure. And we don't have to give in to that. And I'm glad you used your own grandmother as an example. Because my grandfather wouldn't have took black, African American, none of that. I only used the word black Indian when I started fighting with the government like 40 some years ago as a leader. I had to use what was at hand to use. You, at that time, kids and everybody, they were putting black on their papers. Okay? So I'm like, how you gonna take them and they Indians? You're gonna make them black, but then still in all, you're not registering them to protect their land. Y'all with where I'm at? Because there is no law to protect Indian land if we don't be who we are, tied to who we are tied to on those land patents. Those white people cannot do that. Those Asian people cannot do that, but we can. And everybody that skin is brown or black or whatever they want to call it, yellow, or my grandson say tan, whichever one of them colors. If you really have paperwork putting you tied to the land, we should not be enemies. We should be trying to figure out what happened to our people's stuff. But then there are greedy people, white people, black, Asian, and whatever else come along. I said last night, and you heard Natalie, these people come to our area to take what we have because we don't see the full value in what we have, including our history and culture. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Even somebody just put copper color. I glanced at when I saw it. Oh, sun spirit. That's another word. Copper color. We didn't put that there. We need to list all these words, Phoenix, this week, you and I. Because those words give you a timeline. But every timeline point to people with skin color like ours. Never to who are being the beneficiary now of the plight of any of those categories. Do y'all agree with me?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We have 165 people. I welcome all 165 of y'all. I hope you have enjoyed yourself as much as I've enjoyed you all. If it's your first time, please subscribe. You never know when Chief gonna come on. That's right, Phoenix? But when I do come on, I come on with real. And I would like for you to be able to feel freely to join us. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked, please like. Last night we had 70 people that was in the room with us, and we had 70 likes, and I was so proud. Everything matched. Let's do it tonight. Let's make sure we have 163 likes in there. Is that what we have, Davita? Y'all let me know. I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer, but I want Phoenix to have some words too. I came to lay out some how can I say it, J Mar, I brought some ingredients for us to work with for the next couple of weeks. And I would like if you all come back and join me and we get a little deeper in on this topic. Amy and I have came up with, I'm going to have to get with J Mar and Phoenix. I'm going to do a members only chat talk. I mean, I don't want no typing. We're going to talk. That's going to be coming soon. Okay, J Mar?
Okay.
And it's going to be members only. So if you're not a member, jump over there to members only. Jamar, we're going to be talking about a lot of this stuff, and I want you to look some of it up because I don't want to think just Chief just talking. I need you to cross-reference what I'm saying for them, and I want them to cross-reference themselves. But I think we letting the horse ride us the way the horse want to take us and not us lead the horse. Y'all with where I'm at?
Yes, ma'am.
And I heard
Mm-hmm.
some things that was going on the internet, and I'm like, oh, no, no, no. I told Phoenix, Mr. Waldo, I said, Chief got to drop everything. I need to go let them know somebody is distracting the agenda intentionally. And when that happens, that means somebody else have a move already set to move in. Let's get that other 600 and some names. Would somebody please post on there how many names is missing off of that petition so I see it's on here so when they come to get some of the leftovers, they can see the numbers to finish the petition to 10,000. And please drop the petition link in again.
We're at 9357.
Y'all got that? So let's go ahead on and get this in there. Let's make sure everybody signed the petition. I got some great things that you knew I was working on. Hopefully, I'll be so glad when I can come and say it's done. I like to come to y'all when it's done. Because if I come to you and it's done, that means the devil can't stop nothing. Because it's done. All right? So I'm working on some great things that can give you all even some hope on what I was just saying. Work on your papers. Get this stuff before they disappear. Okay, she says 643 to go. Y'all got that? So we ought to be working on that this week and checking to make sure we start seeing that number come down. That's too close for us not to hurry up and finish it out. But I want y'all to know that there is hope for those who have their paperwork. And there can be hope for those who go get their paperwork. But every day they shutting stuff down. Every day. Phoenix can't run into Washington and get stuff like she used to, and neither can I. Because they done moved it farther into archives. I hope tonight meant enough to you all that you will return back for us to do another part to this. And Jamar, I would like for us to do a talk this week on those topics, Phoenix. Maybe more at the Wednesday, Thursday time. Maybe I'll get with Phoenix, Jamar, and let her know. And let's get into this black and indigenous, because we all trapped. But the problem is when we start trapping each other, that's when it becomes a serious problem. Okay, they said we had 100, oh Lord, 192. Phoenix, that's a good night.
Yes, indeed.
I'm glad to be back with you guys. Okay, I am going to read all of what y'all have put on there. I always do. J Moore, thank you for coming anytime I call. But I'm not out there as much as you all are, and I'm not in the chat rooms, and y'all are. And I'd rather people know who I'm talking to so that nobody don't say they with Chief Warhorse like people was asking me about some lady. I ain't gonna call her name, but some kind of Empress person. But I don't even know this person. And Phoenix, we promise never to let somebody ride on my ticket ever again. That is not legit people working with us for the cause of justice. Okay? So that's why I called you out here, J Moore and Phoenix and Mr. Waldo, and I said Ishmael, which we didn't get on. Y'all know who I'm talking to and trusting their research. And y'all come back and let's go around with this indigenous.
And everybody pray for Bay 7.
Everybody pray, even say for
Bay 7.
Bay 7. Yeah, everybody pray for Bay 7. Bay 7, I'll get with you and talk to you. I don't want to ask you where you at online or none of that stuff, but we'll get with that, all right? Um, I'm glad I'm back to some spirit. Let me see what they say.
I was saying that
There you go, Phoenix. Thank you for that, okay?
yes, to Bay Spirit, we're gonna pray for you, sister. And I wanted to correct you. You are not homeless, houseless maybe, but you already home. You're not homeless, baby.
I agree. And we'll find a way, Phoenix, for us to talk to her. You see how you can reach out to her and get let's connect with and see what could we do.
Yes, ma'am.
I also told y'all on this channel, if somebody coming in here, if we can find a way to help, we willing to try to find that. We not how can I put it? We're not social services, but we are the services of our own people. Y'all with me?
That's right.
So we understand you and you Phoenix, no, not homeless. Maybe displaced momentarily. When Katrina hit, they wanted to call us refugees. I was furious. I'm like, I'm a refugee in my own country. I'm not homeless. And I wasn't homeless. And you're not going to be either. But Phoenix, maybe y'all can talk some way to figure out where they're at and let me see what we could do. Um, there are ways for people not to be without a place to sleep. And it's enough of us to help our own people. And I know there's a lot of different chat rooms out there, but I would like I told y'all, I would like for Cooking the Chief, serving up history. I would like for us also to tie it to the people who come here and hear us. Because there are a lot of churches that people tied into. But then, and they got some that's doing. But there's a whole lot of organizations and churches that we should not have homelessness in our community. Do y'all agree, Phoenix? We can't be
That's right.
building, buying planes, and we got people in our community that look like us, and we bypass them. That person might be the person can change this world. They just need a chance, and this country gives us no chances. So we got to create that for one another. We got to have real love. Okay. Just want to know what state you in, what town you in, and don't put it on here. All right.
Yes. You could email me or hit me on Instagram if you have it, Stephanie.
J-Mar,
I added somebody named Jay. Chief asked for your Cash App. I did put it there. It's $ Cooking with Chief show. That's cooking with no G.
how y'all liked it tonight? I want to give y'all a chance to close out and tell us how y'all felt about tonight and do, and Do y'all want us to keep moving on with this topic? Because we will. You can do it by putting up a love sign, throw a heart. If you really like the show, throw a heart and some fire. Leave that for those that come for a snack. Jamar, I would like to hear from you on tonight. While I'm looking and seeing what our people are saying, let me hear from you. What do you feel about all of this um, aggravating, attacking, jumping from room to room to people you don't even have the same agenda with? Tell me what you feel about it. Is Jamar still there, Phoenix?
I believe so. He's on the other side of me. So the airport, I tell you, it takes our Wi-Fi out.
Oh, you told me that. Well, you go ahead on and give us what you feel about, since you have been a victim of people trying to attack you from just doing good and not bothering them. They coming to where you at.
I'm sadly I'm used to it. Um, I used to be really saddened because it's predominantly men, and they come swarming 20 at a time, and then get mad because I know how to fight. Um, that seems to enrage them too. But I don't really pay that too much no mind. I just hope that they get themselves together because we working on what we supposed to work on. Always standing on grandma and grandpa business. Um, and that's really it. That's really it.
I'm glad to hear you say it like that. We just don't want them to go after your people to the point that sometimes people can't get you, so they aggravate your people. And what I want your people to know, don't let them do that.
Oh yes, they definitely reached out to people that we have worked with. We did some genealogy forums with people in the Caribbean uh, last year, and they went and was harassing them on their page, and said, "Look, that like they're working with Caribs, and they call them tethers, terrible names." Um, yeah, so it was kind of weird that they do things like that. That's kind of like a brand smear. But these are also people that don't have a respectable business, probably can't pass a background check, run in some type of scam or something, and they feel like we're competition. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really feel no type of way. I wish they stay doing what they doing and leave us alone because we're not in their lane. There shouldn't be no traffic here.
Hmm.
So, you know, that's
Well,
it.
I know I'm not in their chat room, so if they bring me in their chat room, they bringing me in through their own conversation, because they won't be having me in their chat room personally. So that's the way I feel about that. Okay. And I'm sure Mr. Waldo, he's not on there. He feel the same way. Plus, they don't know he have fun and get a high off of that. So if they really
Yes,
want to have
indeed.
fun, go give Mr. Waldo something to do. He want to have fun. So, but over here, I'm not fighting stupidness, and I'm glad to hear you saying it. And I do want our people to know, if someone coming in their environment, it's because they trying to get back at some of us. And it's not going to happen because we're not in their business. I don't care. Even with me talking about indigenous, I'm not trying to down anyone about indigenous or black or none of that. I'm just saying have clarification on these things. And do not make that so much your world that you don't see your reality. Okay? Because when it all boils down is what you can lay on the table.
That's right. Thank you
So
so much for having us, Chief. It was
thank you
wonderful
all.
to be here. Great
I
show.
enjoyed you all as usual. So Phoenix, Jamar, Ishmael, Mr. Waldo, and all the rest of y'all in the oh, and congratulations, Davida. I heard what great blessings you have. And I just wanted to come let y'all know Chief ain't gone nowhere. You know, Chief working on some stuff that is gonna bring some more truth to how. Let me see. Best way I can put it is like this, Phoenix, because I got some more information on that too. Thursday night, somebody have to win to open the door for the next person to come through. Do that sound a good way to put that? So some of the things I'm working on is going to show the reclassification and the stealing. and conniving. And it give us grounds to go to the next level and say, see, this is what we are talking about. Y'all see what I'm saying? I,
Indeed.
somebody have to lay the groundwork for people that look like us. So good night, everybody. I'll see you all. I'm not gonna keep y'all all night. I love y'all. One day we all meet and have a face to face. We'll do that. But good night. Thank you, Jamar. If you're still there, or if the airplane that knocked you out, when you do listen to it again, you hear me say I love you and appreciate you, and thank you very much. Good night, everybody.